मैच स्थिति से स्टार्ट होना मैच तो स्टार्ट होने लगा ये जो कल वाले रिकैप थोड़े से दिखा रहे हैं कल वाले जैसे रिकैप वगैरह आ जाएंगे उसके बाद 30 किधर गया आज यूर वीडियो साहब भाई की वीडियो ट्रेंडिंग में चल रही है यार हम लोग देखते ही हैं यार पोर्शे की कौन से नंबर पे ट्रेंडिंग में चल रही है पाकिस्तान में और कहां पे ट्रेंडिंग में चल रही है पाकिस्तान के इस टाइम 20 नंबर पे ट्रेंडिंग में चल रही है साहब क्या है साल पॉइंट है 46 अल्टर ईगो 8 पॉइंट यार अल्टर ईगो को पकड़ना पड़ना है आज चिकन नहीं देना चाहिए आईसी को चिकन चाहिए भाई आईसी को चिकन चाहिए चिकन की बहुत बड़ी आज मैं कह रहा हूँ तब तुम लोगों को सब पता चले कि जब पॉइंट सेम हो दोनों टीमों के क्वालिफाई के लिए लेकिन वो टीम ही क्वालिफाई कर पाएगी जिसके बाद चिकन होगा उसके बाद मारियो अभी भी स्ट्रीम कर रहा है नो वे ये तो कह रहा था मैं सोने जा रहा हूँ मुझे लगा तू सोने चला गया उधर रात है ये दिन अबे सुबह के 3:51 मिनट हो गए आधी रात है उसका इंशाल्लाह फर्स्ट पाकिस्तानी टीम इन 6 ईयर अजय सिंह दिखाने इंशाल्लाह गाइस जितने लोग बैठे एक दफा लाइक कर दो तो जितने लोग बैठे हो और एक दफा इस स्क्रीन पे जाके सिर्फ आप लोगों ने स्पैम करना है #FaruqAhmedYT फारूक भाई की तरफ से लव है जाके लाइक कर दो मेरे साथ अपना टीममेट है लव दिखाओ यार भाई को जाके देखते हैं कौन लेगा उस्ताद देखने वाली चीजों में ये चीजें आज भी दूसरे नंबर पे टेंशन नहीं लेंगे आप लोगों ने मैच स्टार्टिंग अबे वीवो वर्सेस इनका जो है ना एक चिकन नो चिकन 29 सलीम 28 सलीम प्लेसमेंट 20 प्लेसमेंट 49.48
So powerful. So, hey, Burmese Ghouls, keeping the hopes of Myanmar alive.
It really would, and I feel like as well, this is one of the single stage, right? Because if they had gone straight to finals, I don't think they would have done as well as if they can go through last chance and go to finals that way, because the confidence we've seen out of them growing and just them getting far more comfortable has been really, really nice. You know, put that up as upside of Weibo. I feel like actually this is the flip side. Is Weibo have struggled having to go through all of the stages. I feel like honestly, like we were talking about it, right? It's like what is going on with them, because they're super inconsistent. But when they have a good game, they have a really good game. Yeah. They show us how smart they can really be. And I really honestly feel like it's a second guessing of the IGL, because the players can rally as long as he makes those decisions really quickly. But you can see where the decisions come really late. Really honestly feel like it is second guessing of the IGL decision, or they just come way too late. So I really hope that Weibo are able to just kind of make a decision and get on with it and get those decisions done. Go with your gut.
I cracked the code. Is the fact that they only get second place. The Soot curse is real. They only get second place. Weibo, no, if they can get a win, Hot Jukes, they're qualifying. They need to break the curse right now in the last chance.
Oh, let's see if they can do it. But you know what, guys? Before we get started, we got to give a big thank you, of course, to the Infinix GT30 series, the official gaming phone of PMGC 2025. Engineered for precision, performance, and victory. Empowering every gamer to hashtag be the one and hashtag outplay the rest on the global stage. Thank you, Infinix, everybody putting this together. It's been a long road to get here, and we only got 6 more matches left. And, you know, we've been talking about it from the get-go here, how important these first few games is, Max, because if we see a couple teams create such a large point gap, it is going to demoralize this lobby towards these last few games entirely, right? So one thing I'm really looking forward to is seeing the adaptability of squads, right? I don't want to just see teams like play the normal game and hope for the best. I want to see them adjust their performance to try and get top 2 because it's top 2 or nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, actually, I'm really happy you bring up that topic about adaptability. One team that I want to see adapt a little bit more in a significant fashion is Loops. Great first day, right? Currently in 4th position. They're all about the eliminations. And you know what? Eliminations alone aren't going to carry you to victory. They're not going to punch your ticket for the grand finals. Loops, more late game finishes. Top 5s would just make me so unexpected for me, at least, Niptura. So Loops, if we see them increase that survival time just a little bit more and keep fragging out the way they were doing in day 1, I think top 2 is definitely in the cards for this squad.
I really agree with that. I want to say as well, you know, another team I'm kind of looking for is going to be sort of Inner Circle and Wolves. Falcons as well, they get an honorable mention here because Falcons and Wolves, both of them had a really great Miramar in one of the Miramars, but the rest of the games, we didn't see that much from either of the teams, and so I'd like to see just a bit more presence. I think that's something I keep repeating over the stages, but it's true, right? You want to see this presence in these games in the late stages because it's not necessarily aggression that we're looking for because we don't want you to be rash with it. We don't want you to just go in guns blazing and that's it, right? We want you to have presence. It's aggression in how you challenge teams and how you maneuver teams and how you set yourself up in the circle. It's not always aggression, meaning just pushing teams. So for me, presence is a huge factor. And so far, we haven't seen that much from Falcons, Wolves, or Inner Circle, which is crazy to say because Inner Circle, I feel, when they play very well, has some of the best presence we've seen globally. So for me to have to say, hey,
quickly talk about Team Falcons. They've had an amazing Miramar. Sure, not quite a win because Wolves just stole it away in a very odd fashion, but who could predict that, right? The circle kind of screwed them over. But a second place, 16 eliminations, and Novalo said it during the interview, right? It was off the back of a very early pivot from their western drop right into the northern side of Los Leones. And by doing so, they don't lose players. And this has been my biggest gripe with this tissue, or this, like, they just have a small amount of... It's their biggest game of the tournament. Come on, Falcons, we know you can do it. More of that, please.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's something we saw from other teams, right? Like Virtus Pro comes to mind, for instance, that kept losing players early. Really well. It's the same story for Falcons, and it would be really nice to maybe just adjust some of those rotations, or maybe don't go for those risky rotations. Maybe rotate a little bit more compactly, speedily, you know, go quickly to zone. I think if you hesitate a little too much in this lobby, it's got this weird balance of, you know, playing for position and also being very aggressive. This lobby, it's very different from the group red that we saw, for instance. So I feel like maybe just having those quicker rotations and rotating a little bit more together would be much better for them.
Yeah, well, we definitely need to see those little adjustments, right? Especially from the top 9 teams, because they could definitely make it into top 2. Now, I just do want to preface this, right? When it comes to the 10th place team Alliance, they're currently 25 points behind second. So for 10th place on down, this is do or die, match number 1, right? If we don't see a 10th place team, Max, on down win this rondo, it's over for them, right?
Yeah, you want to, again, it's dependent on, do you want to try and just get into the late game and get a win and a lot of placement points, or do you want to go full crazy aggro mode and go into Neox? I know I sound like a broken record. I mention Neox every 2 seconds, but it is going to be a huge opening factor for the second day. And if a team gets, you could literally have a team that try to get 10 plus points in minute 5, which is wild to imagine.
You absolutely could. It's going to be a crazy thing we don't want to see very quickly is, you know, teams actually targeting those solos on the 3-1 split in Rondo, right? That would be huge, and it'd be a great strat for certain teams. And so I think a lot of these teams are going to have to really think about that going into Neox.
Well, let's see what's going to happen, folks. First game of the last day of Last Chance, it's Rondo. Are we going to see the craziest hot drop in esports history? Or will these teams let fate decide? John Allen and Blake, let's see.
Oh, it's feeling toasty today. Hot Jukes over on the desk. Thank you so much. Is done for now. We'll be getting back into it. Maybe they need to analyze how I can say that one better. But test track, Neox Factory. Let's analyze that. I promise I can say that word. It's like, sound like I'm trying to say pineapple in various European languages. Oh dear. Oh, I think
there you go. You are actually absolved of all of that. You're absolved of all of that. Yeah, you're absolved of all of that.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just sounded like you were fine with yourself. What happened there was basically like a small raccoon came to my room and just like wrapped itself around the mic. It's not my fault.
Let's talk about the hot drop because it's happening right now. One more shell, not gonna matter. Pick up a resupply there. Is able to finish off 2 points early for the Boars. But Weibo, inner circle, Geeke, Loops, all sit around this area.
You can see though the Flash, they didn't care for it. They did not care for it. So it was still a pretty big hot drop. Not the hugest we've seen, but still a lot of teams dropping here. And it seems to be teams and squads that really want to shake things up a little bit. Weibo is definitely an interesting one. I think Weibo is probably the more interesting out of all of that. It's very out. Yesterday, if they were watching back the games, they would have seen that the Flash actually got quite a lot of points off the back of Neox Factory, just as like a solo or a duo.
It's no elims yet, but a knock found. Not going to find the rest, though. And that's going to be Geeke can get back up to 3. The Wolves denied an opportunity to earn some points in a circle, losing another. The Boars doing pretty well so far on this hot drop blank. They got 4 elims on the cards. And Seven actually has highlighted something very interesting about this hot drop. He's put in our group chat, the 7WG, by the way. We were in a group chat together. No big deal. But the Falcons, they've backed off this hot drop.
Yeah, they opted not to go for it. They headed down towards the southeast side, towards Tuling. I mean, to be fair, the Falcons have been losing this multiple times. So why risk it? Try and just play that late game. I think that the Burmese Ghouls, right, they're in 6th place. They're doing fantastically well from that position. How to find this Elim, that's the real question. But I think Falcons need to play more like the Burmese Ghouls. I think that you play to your strength, and Burmese Ghouls' strength is that as a 4, they're really good. They can close out end games. I think Falcons are kind of similar. And Burmese Ghouls, you don't see them hot dropping anyone because I don't think that they're extremely confident in their 4v4s and in closed spaces. But when it comes to controlling area, I think they love to do that. So yeah, I think for the Burmese Ghouls, they make the right choice there to continue playing like that. And Falcons, if they are able to emulate, they'll do well off the back of it.
Will hopefully be able to see them a little bit closer. They had that massive game at the end of yesterday on their Miramar. Did come second in the end. Just Noki goes down to a spray. Ragnarok able to win it out. Geeke doing pretty well. Boars doing pretty well. Teams like our teams towards the bottom profiting the most right now, but with Loops on 1, oh dear, they're stuck in this hot drop blank. This is nasty. Loops in 3rd place right now, but they've got a lot of Geeke bearing down upon them. They've overcommitted potentially to this hot drop.
Yeah, it's a big overcommit. It's probably come from the fact that a player on the outside got knocked down. And this is the risk you run a lot of times. Even if you go for the 3-1, there's a risk that your player on an outpost does get taken out. And on Neox Factory, I think a lot of teams are kind of willing and understanding that likely all 3 of their members are going to die in that location. It's very rare you win that out. And if you do, I think you also understand that you also got a little bit lucky to win that out.
challenge in a circle. Are going to win it though. They are still as 4. Actually, IQ still stepping in the Neox factory. The rest of IQ, they're all the way out on the northwest side. Blank, they've got a recall out to the northwest side of the circle. So it is just IQ seeing how many points he can get. Team Flash also racking up 1 or 2 against Influence Rage. This is after a rotate as well. The recalls might be a little bit shabby. The Team Flash going to keep themselves nice and topped up. But Gen G around the corner. In the meantime, though, it's still, in my mind, all about what Loops are going to do here with Vitinho wanting to stay alive, probably more than anyone else right now on these hot drops. Weibo?
Yeah, that is crazy. I was going to say that Alter Ego fall into the trap of letting Rosemary die first again, but there is an immediate clapback from the rest of the squad over towards Weibo, which gets a little bit awkward now, right? Where you have order, and I think that the rest of the players, that they were quickly res actually on Weibo's side. Not sure about Alter Ego, though. I think because they diverted, they are struggling now.
A nade in from Vitinho, again looking for order. Finding these last few stragglers in Neox factory would be brilliant. He's able to find another. The rest of his team are now back. Where did that recall come from? Okay, sneaking that one on through. Loop's able to stay up as 4, and that is huge news for them. We're going to cut over towards the Gen G fight with Team Flash right now. Both teams have got an outpost not committed to this fight, but Claws coming in actually commits Gen G fully to this engagement. With just tops remaining, though, you've got to think this is probably going to go well for them. They may lose 1, they may lose 2. But they can't afford to do so. Tops hopping around on the pagoda. Looking for the shots down the stairs. It's lined up and it will be Tops going down. Flash with 1 on the outside. They're going to send out for those recalls.
Bozo can see if he can catch a player lacking, maybe being a little bit lazy on the hold there. The rest of the Flash are going to get their players back in action. Already got a boatload of points. Taking down the majority of Influence Rage, not before they got that recall off. That's all the way towards the eastern side of the map, though, so a little bit of a longer rotate for Influence Rage because of that. I do think that the Flash would like to reclaim this position, and I think that the players are much closer than Gen G maybe assumes.
They are back up. For Team Flash.
Correct.
Staying as 4. Vitinho. We're back on board with him, and he's still got his teammates, but he wants to keep scrapping it out. He's on 4 elims already. The team is on 4 elims already, and the nade should bring them up to 5. I don't think Geeke are going to be able to get this res. It's quite a long path, and the cross is treacherous. He's out in the open, though. Oh, just about makes the cross, has to hit the deck right behind it, but crawls away. Doesn't quite connect to the cover, and a little bit overzealous on the run out there. A nice pickup for Geeke.
There's a great fight going on, by the way. Is that the Flash actually do find the shots over towards Gen G, and Gen G were caught slacking there. In the meantime, the rest of Flash are also taking a fight with Papa Supermassive. She's putting up points left, right, and center, currently in 2nd place. So definitely trying to redeem themselves from their Group Red performance, because they did perform very well. I think that they slowed down quite a bit towards the end of that tournament, but I also do feel bad for them on that final game where Weibo essentially seized the arena to get ahead of both of them just because of how focused Weibo was on taking down the Flash.
A team that's closest to getting eliminated right now is Papa Supermassive. With the circle shifting southwest, Kamikaze is trapped between Inner Circle and up for recall. In the meantime, Team Flash still hunting down. Azias draws short. The momentum on the vehicle not quite there. Loops again getting those recalls on board, but Kamikaze for Papa Supermassive yet to pull his team back to their full 4. Not too sure what he's diverting for. Maybe worried there's a player camping out on that recall, or wants to go for a different one, potentially on the western side. In the meantime, Zia still under pressure. Will go down. Sprays from 4s, and neither team can get away from one another right now on the northeast side.
Yeah, definitely struggling. I mean, it's kind of a back and forth here where Gen G's able to catch the Flash, and then suddenly the Flash is able to catch Gen G. Both of them not quite respecting one another enough. Bose doesn't quite find the first shot, so has to back off. There's a nice tag on the side of the car there. Will immediately go for the flush, and that's the correct play. Does limit the Flash's potential. There was also a shot down the hill. Actually, Zias had.
And they will play in there rather than playing up from the northwest side. I suppose you know there's a lot of teams around the area. You want to rotate further south. Why not do it as one? On your screens, you could see there's the recalls for Team Flash on the northeast side. And Genji do need to be careful on step in. Will not be free of danger for them. Beacon inside the zone. That is a pretty powerful spot.
It's great footage of this big old stone pillar.
This is the last chance to come up big in a match and jump up to even give yourself an opportunity. 6 elims at the start. It's great, but they need to get, 20 pointers here in order to jump back into competition. It's just not happening in my eyes, though. It's really not. And on the east side, they're going to have a tough time pushing past both Burmese Ghouls and Team Flash.
I think my biggest issue right now is that the Flash has 6 elims, Ulriga has 4, and a strong spot. And the Flash, I feel, slowing down, they're not stopping. Okay, but yeah, I think the Flash is just getting ahead. And as our Alter Ego, I think Alter Ego maybe even gets the chicken dinner in this game. In which case, it becomes so difficult. Because even the teams that are down towards the bottom looking to chase upwards, they're not in the best spot to do it. That is rough. That's a very hard shift. But even so, Weibo in a circle, 2 teams that are towards the top of the tables anyway. I think the bottom of the tables are just sort of bowing out now.
Flash on this one, 6 elims found. Pretty decent stuff from the hot drop and giving Team Flash a run for their money, actually getting an elim there. Team Flash not going to be able to get a recall on this one. Rotating over the stadium feels like a bad move and playing on as 3. Not great, but 9 elims blank. And you can't say fairer than that. We'll see if Alter Ego are able to transition into this circle, and I think that is the major change of dynamic. And actually, Falcons are ahead of the curve on this rotate. Again. Oh, maybe Arcred, Papa Supermassive, again, 2 middle pack teams clashing at the moment. Arcred, driver's seat of this fight. Easy for Bad Boy. Will take a lot of damage from the nade, but not nearly as much as Glory. Kamikaze with the nade. Last player to stand for Papa Supermassive. He was able to pull them all back up earlier on. But will it all be for naught? Again, Arcred here. Easy for Bad Boy. Ramses